Hello to everybody that is joining, watching this replay. Tonight we have a special guest. We got Bradley from The Internal Game. So, pretty excited to have him here. Just letting everybody join in. Get the notification. Pretty exciting, guys. How's everyone's Saturday night going? If you're watching this on YouTube, it might be a different day. Usually takes me about a week to get the replays up on YouTube. So, how's your day going over there on YouTube? I just added somebody I didn't mean to add. Sorry. Kind of funny. A little fun. How is everybody doing? How is everybody's Saturday night as we all join in? Tonight we are going to be having a guest here on this live. If you guys haven't watched or followed his channel, he's got a YouTube and a TikTok channel called The Internal Game. So we are going to have Bradley on as a guest tonight, doing a little bit of Q&A together. So yeah. Oh my god, I remember you back in Law of Assumption days. Hey! That's what's up. Hey, there's Bradley. Let me see if I can add you, sir. Hey!
Hey, what's up, Lane?
What is up?
How's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
Good. I'm doing good.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. Alright.
Internal Game.
Simon says my SP.
Now we should do it.
You hear me?
Yeah. Now we're good. Get them off. All right, guys. So let's do a little bit of Q&A here with Brad Lee from The Internal Game. If you guys don't follow him, he's more on YouTube, but he does a lot here still on TikTok as well. Aaron's in the house. What up, Aaron?
Oh, what's up, Aaron?
I haven't seen anybody else from group yet.
Um,
And I got a couple of questions coming in.
Aaron says, hi, guys. What's up? What's up, Aaron? Neredia says hello. Hello. Linda says, I mostly watch Bradley on YouTube. Yeah, exactly. even the videos on TikTok are like little snippets from the YouTube videos. So all except like a couple. I think I've done like little minute, said something, whatever. Sammy says, please read my. Oh yeah, you did ask something. My SP used to ignore me. Now he watches all my stories. Now that I'm engaged with someone else. Okay. Well, you're engaged with someone else, and you're saying that you still want this SP, this other one. Is that what you're saying?
There we go.
I want to make sure. But you're saying that he's texting you now, or not messaging you now, and you want to message him, but he's looking at your stories, and he's been doing that since you've been engaged with someone else. Well, probably because you're not as desperate because you have someone else, probably. But yeah. He said, no, I just want to know why he watches everything. I don't know. You have to ask him. Like, I'm not even being funny. Like, it doesn't always have to be deep or anything, You said I used to want him, but not anymore. Yeah, maybe just watching your stories. I don't know. Maybe
it's all still you.
Yeah,
it's all still the same reflection.
I would say beforehand. You probably were just really desperate, really wanting him to watch your stories, and then now you kind of let go of that idea, so now he can. I think it's probably just as simple as that. You can always text me and say, stop watching my fucking stories. I'm kidding, don't do that. If you guys don't know, I like to joke around a little bit, so. But no, I think it's just as simple as you just kind of drop in some importance.
Someone said they were thinking about Brandon from Living as Source.
Yeah. Shout out to Brandon.
Yeah, that's it. You did a couple like things with him, like videos, right, with him?
Yeah, I've had a couple of videos of Brandon. Yeah, 2, I think. Was it 2? Yeah. Yeah, one with me and him, I think, and then another one me, him, and Brittany, I think.
Oh yeah, with Brittany, she's good.
That's what I think. Yeah. Maybe there's 2. I did 2 with Joseph. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, Joseph's good. I like Joseph.
But
no, I just wanted to know why he was watching everything. Again, people stalk, especially on exes. It's still all just a reflection of you, regardless. Though, if you're not interested, then continue living your life with your fiance. And just let it be there. The less awareness that you place on it and the importance that you place on it, or trying to analyze why this person's doing this or that, they will finally go away as soon as you stop placing your awareness on it. So just let it be there.
hold on, I'm about to sneeze. I think so. Linda says, "What do you do, Lane?"
What do I do for what?
I don't know. She says, "What do you do, Lane?" Maybe she asked a question and then said, "What do you do?"
I didn't see the question. Let me go back up. What do I do alone?
But I think she meant to say Lane.
Oh.
That, right at the bottom of that, it says Lane. Aaron says, "Who's the one worried about who is viewing the stories? It's always the character, not awareness."
It is always the character. That character tried to be tricky too.
Linda says, "No, I was just asking, do you do things like Bradley does?" Yeah. Lane's dope. Because it takes a dope one to recognize a dope. Okay. But no, she's great.
Wait, what was the quote? If you spot it, you got it.
You spot it, you got it. I'll never forget that. It's a little harsh truth, You're like, damn. You spot it, you got
It's
it.
funny. I heard it in A Course in Miracles. Adam, or not Adam. I can't remember the guy's name, but Aaron's gonna know it. He does a Course in Miracles, and he like breaks it down in an easier way. And he said that he's like, if you spot it, you got it.
Nice.
I'm like, that's
Aaron,
you're the only one that I've ever heard that from.
You said Aaron who?
Aaron's gonna know the name of the guy. I can't think of it. It was
Oh, I
something.
thought you were saying. Okay, I thought you were saying the guy's name was Aaron. So I was like,
No. It's something with an A in Kohan, I believe.
Alan Cohen. Okay.
Yeah, Alan. There you go. That was close.
You spotted, you got it. Alan Cohen said it.
Yeah.
That's cool. Linda says, "No, just asking what you know what Bradley does." T says, "My boyfriend broke up with me 4 months ago. I'm manifesting marriage with him. Asked to move on. It's not possible because I'm 37. He is 27. Different religions and nationality." Look at you dating the young buck. All right. Asked to move on. It's not possible because he's 37. Is it still possible to keep manifesting marriage with him? Yeah, I wouldn't even go straight to the marriage though. I would just be like, that shit's done. Because like right now you're like, it seems like you're starting to throw some limitations out. So you've probably been thinking about that for a while. Like he's 37, I'm 27, different nationalities, like all these kind of reasons as to why this might not be a thing. Probably thought about it for quite some time now. And then so to be like, well, how's marriage gonna happen? We're different nationalities. His mom probably likes this, and his parents are probably this way, and my parents this way. It's like all this stuff. Definitely the refusal to believe it part. So the idea is to take some importance away from this. Like, dude, we're all people. Okay, we can throw some I mean, we're God, but I mean, what we're doing here is being people, trying to remember that we're God, right? So as we're doing this, like he's also people. I don't care his religion. I don't care how old he is. Like these people are not some magic beings that we have to manifest into our lives. Like they're just regular people, just like anybody else. So you want to kind of take that importance off of and be like, yo, like this is a thing. It's been a thing before. My fears, my insecurities, my doubts kind of got in the way. Let me go ahead and drop these fears, insecurities, and doubts by stop believing the mind stuff all the time. Get more present, focus more on your breathing and your state of being. And every time these thoughts about the religion and the nationalities and the him 37 or him 27, me 37, instead of watching all this stuff on YouTube about how like age gap relationships don't work and nationalities don't, like all this stuff that you've entertained before, like you just stop doing all that because that's a refusal to believe a part. And every time that you're starting to feel pulled to search something, ask those questions. Is it possible? I'm sure that's probably not the first time you've asked that. You probably asked that before, which is okay. I get it. I've been there. But ideally, you want to start soothing yourself with all these wanting validation, wanting reassurance. You want to start reassuring yourself, breathing, stabilizing, and every time you think about this thing, you just remind yourself that it's done, and that's all you need to do.
That and returning to the present moment, because anytime that you're playing in your mind and you're coming up with all of these circumstances as to why you're not going to get what you want and it seems impossible, all you're doing is feeding that fire of the character, the ego, and the limitations that your mind is going to place upon anything that you're trying to manifest, because the mind can never even try to perceive or understand how this could manifest, because all it can ever see is the limitation. All it can ever see is the circumstance and nothing beyond that. So that's why you have to get out of the mind and into the present moment. Focus on, stuff that makes you feel good. Focus on your breath, your body, your surroundings. That way you start to disconnect from those stories, disconnect from that identification in those circumstances, and then things can naturally just unfold and you'll be more in the state of neutrality, not giving so much power away to these limitations.
Exactly. Yeah, because like how you saw yourself and how you believe things to be is what created that dynamic in the first place. So it can't see outside of itself, that kind of mind pattern. So you're not going to want to be trying to convince yourself of something else. And there's no amount of reassurance from me, Lane, or anyone else on the internet that's going to actually convince you that type of pattern, that type of version of yourself. Otherwise, it actually doesn't want that. It actually wants what it created, because that's how it sees itself. So the idea is to, yes, be more present, breathe instead of think, more inner body awareness instead of like trying to imagine like some scenario where it all is perfect. Like you just want to worry about not believing the stuff that you've been believing. You start there, and a lot more will be revealed, because then you'll naturally get different perspectives, because you're no longer seeing it through the lens of the belief system that you're no longer believing at that point. So
There's
also
a question.
Narrator earlier asked, what is everyone is yourself pushed out? If you want to go ahead and answer that, Lane, that'd be cool.
Oh, yeah. So pretty much it's just everyone is your mirror of anything that you have entertained, right? So if it's a wound, I'm sure Bradley's going to bring up Eckhart Tolle and how he explains the pain body. Everyone just mirrors back the suffering that you've been entertaining for very, very long. They can also mirror back the good things that you've been placing your awareness on, but it's not to where anybody is doing anything to you. It's happening from you. It's all the same consciousness. So the same God that is within you is the same God within them, and it's about a spiritual growth journey, pretty much. You bring out things in them, and they bring out things in you. So then both of you can expand in consciousness, and that's constantly being reflected back to you in the awareness that you are. The character tries to get in the way and say, this is the opposite that's manifesting, or get in the way of, I need to change my beliefs because it's my beliefs that's manifesting. Some of that is kind of true, but when you know who you truly are as awareness, the mirror really doesn't matter. It's about the internal world. That's why his channel is the internal game, because that's all that it's about, is your internal world. As soon as you let go of the attachment to the suffering, the attachment towards other people, the mirror will instantly reflect that back to you, to match who you are being. And if you're just being who you truly are and not being this character, this ego, that's when the mirror seems like it's more in alignment with the reality of what you do want, and you're not having that resistance anymore. So that's all everyone as you pushed out really is. It's just a mirror. You can add on.
No,
If you'd
good
like.
with that.
Cool.
Linda says, maybe same here. My husband is also younger than me in different culture nationality. Yeah, so the same thing. This is Linda says, do you either of you script or just change thoughts in your mind? I don't. Used to. The reason I don't do the thought change is because, like, if I'm trying to change a thought, and I'm giving a lot of importance to the thought that I'm trying to change. Like, that means I believe that one, and like, so that's my cue. If I'm like, I used to do it all the time. Like, if I get the thought, I would try to affirm the opposite like 14, 15 different times, so it'd be more than the other one. So it'd be like kind of cancel it out. But it just, I mean, you start being aware of the mind, you start realizing like you don't have to flip any thoughts. You just don't believe that one in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. No, I was never big on scripting either. It hurt my hand, man. It wasn't for me. And flipping thoughts hurt my brain. So that also wasn't for me.
One question, I go to church as a Catholic, can I still manifest? Most definitely manifest all the time. Like, you don't, like, the whole thing with, I mean, I'm assuming as far as, like, Christianity is concerned, you have, like, you believe in a savior, right? So then there's that. And then the belief that, like, the savior died for your sins. So there's that. But other than that, like, I mean, that particular savior that you're talking about, he literally said you will go on and do greater works than I. He said that, like, hey, you're like, he had a lot of, to me, he was an enlightened being. I have different views on certain things as far as like saviors and stuff, but I mean, you're still just like me or anyone else. You're your own focal point here in this reality. So just because you have a couple extra, I guess, beliefs about like, who's a savior and things like that doesn't stop anything from happening. Like, you can still
No matter what, still all just manifestation regardless. But again, it's not about the external. It's your internal world of it's all consciousness being projected out. So if you want to give your belief system, like reinforce it with any kind of religion, and that's the power that you have. That's the choice that you have. It's not going to hold you back, or it's not going to stop you from manifesting. It's just your beliefs. And you see people believe in all different types of things and use those things to be able to create the life that they want. It really doesn't matter. So if you believe in prayer, you believe in Jesus, and you believe in sin and whatever, then your life is going to be reflected back to you in that same level of consciousness as well.
Yeah, and even like Mark 11:24, he says like, what, it's funny that Lane mentioned that she was like, I was gonna bring up that card, and this might actually be the longest I've ever talked without bringing him up, but like, anyway, that's my guy, and he's about the present moment, and he's an enlightened being and things like that, and he's talking about like getting rid of pain and suffering, and by being present and dissolving these things, and realizing that the mind is not you, or you're not the mind, and so. He doesn't talk about manifestation a lot, but in the book, The Power of Now, a couple of times he talks about like your inner world is creating the outer world, right? And so, but when asked about manifestation, he says that all manifestation, all of it, he's like, any manifestation talk that you can think of can be summed up in Mark 11:24 in the Bible. When you pray, believe you have received it, and it shall be yours. Like, it doesn't. It's not bigger than that. It's not less than that. Like, that's just kind of it. Neville Goddard, that's how he looked at prayer. What did he say? He said, life makes no mistake and always gives man which man first gives himself, which makes sense because these things are reflection. That's all that really needs to be said. So like, you don't have to walk around pretending and holding hands with the person and if you don't want to, you just remind yourself that it's done. Like, that's it. And then getting a state of being that is stable. That can experience these things, because like the state of being is extremely important. But Eckhart Tolle. Apparently it's Tolle, but I'm gonna keep calling him Tolle. In the hopes that he calls me and corrects me. But he would never correct me. I could probably just say it to him like in his face, and he's like, yeah, for sure. He wouldn't care.
No. be like, damn Americans, can't even say my last name right.
Yeah, there's no way you care. But yeah. But no, like I agree with that. That's why it's way more about your stability and you not suffering, to me anyway, than it is about like manifesting these people, because that stuff's fairly easy. I mean, I know it doesn't seem that way when you're in desperate places and chaotic and stuff. It feels like a lot, but it's fairly easy in the sense of like reminding yourself it's done. Now the maintenance and managing the relationship, as far as not creating any further assumptions like that, it's challenging. Yeah, it's challenging. That's the kicker. But if you can focus more on your state of being and your not believing thoughts, then of course those things are a little bit easier, a lot easier. I get stuck in my thoughts. How do you know? You don't believe them. Like, I promise you that you do not have to believe them. And also, you can get in your inner body and breathe in the body. Like, just put your focus on your breath. Even if your mind's got a lot of momentum, just bring it right to the body.
Yeah. Thank you. You're welcome. All right. So since I'm not seeing any more questions or anything, but what for somebody if they're trying to get an ex back, we'll say, and they're constantly daydreaming about this person, or they're constantly trying to manifest this person, trying different techniques, visualizations, whatever, and it doesn't seem to be working for them. What would you tell them in that essence? If there's been like years that have gone by, they're trying this, they're trying to be present, they're trying to take in this new information, that their source, their awareness, but nothing still seems to be working. What would you be sharing with everybody?
I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen that much, but like as far as like years going by, that's a long time. I mean, I would question what they were doing in general. But like our mind tricks us. Like, but we can just watch content and think that we're doing something. Like that was my biggest thing, is I'd watch content throughout the day, and the next thing you know, months went by, and I was like, man, I've been doing this for months. And then it wasn't until I started being aware of my thoughts where I was like, oh shit, I wasn't doing anything I thought I was doing. Like I was actually being pathetic. Like is what I was being. Like I wasn't being some sound version of myself that like it could experience a relationship. I was being pathetic and desperate. But just because I was watching creation content, I thought that I was like had been manifesting for some time or whatever, and it's just not true. So it tricks you, and like the ego, those types of belief patterns and stuff like that. It loves the manifestation game, because it makes it in the future, and still trying, and trying is implying that you're not, right? So trying to manifest all this stuff, and it's like, what I would do is I would just chill. Literally, I would absolutely chill. I would fucking chill. Like that. Like when I did that, that's when everything changed. And I was like, dude, I don't even give a fuck about manifesting right now. Like I'm being crazy. Like I'm watching a killer amount of videos. There's nothing wrong with watching videos. Definitely watch Lane's videos. Watch Aaron's videos. Like these are great. It's great content. I'm just saying, like, if you're doing it in a way of like thinking that the next video is gonna save you, it's not. Like, listen to the video and then go do it. Go be still. Go try what's in the video. Don't like. That was my thing. Is I would watch a video. I'm like, oh fuck yeah, that's everything I needed right there. That was the one, baby. And then I would go off and I'd be like, bossing up. I'm bossing up. And then like because I was in that pattern, I would get some thoughts because I wasn't used to being aware of my thoughts, and I would bite them. And I was like, fuck, and then I'd spiral. And because I was spiraling, I needed more reassurance now externally, so I'd watch another video. And then this became a pattern for months. So, and then when I finally said, dude, this is like exhausting, and I just stopped and I chilled. I was able to reset. And I did watch videos still, but it was like, I kind of made these little deals with myself. Like I watch the video and I need to do these things, or like reflect on them, things like that, but not to use them as soothing points. And then things change. So like I would just look at like your state of being. If you're trying something for a year, you're probably really desperate still, probably feeling maybe not as desperate as before. But yeah, I would just take a break. It doesn't mean you have to stop watching videos, but I mean like take a break of like the techniques and doing this. Like, dude, just chill. Like, be there for yourself, literally. Like, um, I use this little example on my YouTube video a couple times. But if you came to my house and I was smacking my fingers with a hammer, like just like incessantly smacking them with a hammer, and you're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm just smacking my fingers." And you're like, "Does it hurt?" I'm like, "Dude, it's excruciating." And you're like, "Well, why don't you stop?" I'm like, "Well, I've been doing it for a long time. I'm trying to manifest a way to stop doing this." Like, but like I'm watching a couple of videos. You'd be like, "No, I promise you, you can just stop." And if I told you that I couldn't just stop, you would think I was crazy, and you would be right. Right. So like when you look at like what we're doing every day in those moments, I've been there before when I was trying to, manifest my life and stuff like that. Like I get this. You're torturing yourself with thought. You're thinking of the worst case scenarios, and then you take a couple minutes or a couple times throughout the day, and you actually get a good imagination in, or affirm for a little while, and then it's back to this, and it's flip floppy, and then time goes by. Then you worry about the time, and then you add up a bunch of other limitations, and it's just like, dude, it's just a lot. So what you're doing is actually torturing yourself through thought, through resistance and suffering. So stop it. Like, and when you stop doing that, and I mean literally stop doing that, this is a person who actually prioritizes themselves. That's stronger than any type of affirming that I'm priority while you're still beating yourself up. Like, that's a person who takes care of themselves, who has their back, who doesn't abandon themselves. And like, then guess what? Because everyone is yourself pushed out, people start to treat you back people start to treat you these ways, and it's just a different life.
What about the people though that take like our messages about like being present and turn that into like a technique? Well, I'm trying to be present. I don't know how to be present. Well, what advice would you give that person? Because I get that a lot in my comments.
Again, it was just one more technique stuff. I think at a certain point, people have to ask themselves, like, how long do I want to suffer for? Because, and I'm just being for real, because like there's a lot of different techniques out there. There's a lot of different content. There's great people out there that talk about stuff, right? But like, the power of now is, to me, the greatest thing ever written. And like, I'd read it probably 10 times before I actually read it that one time. That was just like, okay, right? So like, clearly the first 10 times I didn't just take on its powers, right? I was like, oh wow. Like it didn't do that for me. Like a couple parts made sense, but I ultimately wasn't done with my suffering. Like that's it. So when I finally kind of came to that point that one day, now I've picked up suffering since then. Don't worry about that. I mean, I've mine too, but like I meant like at that particular time with the manifesting life and just being down and reading that book again, I was like, you know what? I'm choosing pain every time I do this, and this hurts. Like it actually hurts. I'm saying I don't want pain, but like I keep imagining the worst case scenarios. And so like the reason I turned away from the power in the first place is because I was like, how's presence going to get me that? Right. And then eventually got to the point where I was like, I need presence to not suffer. Like, and so it wasn't about so much the manifestation anymore. And oddly enough, that's when those things started moving towards me. But I think that like, not trying to sound hard here, but like as long as it's always about somebody else, yeah, you'll probably make it into another technique or anything for that matter. Like, and as long as it's about somebody else, you'll quit. Like when you'll go from technique to technique because like it's not giving you that relief. So when you finally stop making it about somebody else and make it about yourself, you'll stick with it. Yeah. That's Linda. You're not alone. She says I've been watching TikToks that's trapping. That's a thing. Like whether someone's trying to manifest a person or just like trying to not to avoid their own pain. People do this all the time. I mean, look around. Everyone's scrolling. And when you say make it about yourself, how? Just like again, how long do you want to suffer for? Like it doesn't have to be like you have to say fuck the world and go get your nails done every day. Like it doesn't have to be that way. But like stop torturing yourself with thought. And like, and when you're getting those thoughts, which I'm sure you are, because you got a lot of momentum, probably, you just remind yourself that it's just thoughts. They're just emotions. You don't have to latch onto them. That's what I mean about make it about yourself instead of trying to get something. Like, because again, if you're trying to be present to get something, you will turn into the same thing as something else, and in 3 or 4 days when it's not there, you're like, hey, presence isn't working, and it's like, well, presence is you, homie. That's what you are. Like, there's no way it's not working. Like what's not working is you're not allowing presence to be. What's not working is you're getting in the way. or my bad, what you believe is that you are is getting in the way.
Mhm. Well, also, what's the Eckhart quote about attachment that he talks about?
Yeah. When people say, or in the book, this guy said, how do you let go of attachment? He said, you can't. Don't even try. But attachments will naturally fall away when you no longer seek to find yourself in them. So what he means is, as long as you think that this SP is how you're going to feel worthy and all that stuff, then you're going to be attached. And even when this person is in your physical experience, you're going to be scared they're going to leave. And you'll create it again. You'll perceive them as doing things, and all, and it's basically just, it's suffocating. So the idea is to, like, they don't complete you. It is a bit challenging sometimes, I think, in long-term relationships, like being in the, you get yourself to get used to things, and things. That's all. I guess it's a whole other topic, but right now you're just trying to get started, I guess. But yeah. And
Be
also,
still
like,
and know I am God.
and one last thing to Linda is, and everyone, by the way, is like, it's quite surprising, but like a part of you actually wants what you're experiencing. Like if you see yourself as abandoned or not enough or not worthy or not committed to, things like that, then that's what you actually want. And I know that sounds crazy. I get it. You have a conscious mind that's like, no, I want to be chosen. I want to be loved. And it's like, well, consciously you do. But like the unconscious pattern that's been running your life, that all those thoughts that you keep believing, that part doesn't, because it can only exist if the belief system's like that, which I'm sure probably is, if you found, manifest your SP type shit. And so, which I get with your la familia, right? I get it, but it's you want to come in and start being aware of this pull to pain, because like these are painful ideas, like these are painful belief systems. And like, so you'll push away people that are accepting you and loving you because that's how you see yourself. And you won't accept what you don't believe to be true about yourself. So like you have to come in with some presence, with some awareness, and start not believing these thoughts so the belief systems can like weaken off. But until then, like there's a disconnect, because we consciously think that we want love and like a harmonious relationship, but like unconsciously we don't. If we did, we wouldn't have created the whole mess in the first place. So we would never perceive them outside of that. So anyway.
Yeah. Plus, if you are, our perceptions are so muddied based off of the thoughts and the conditioning and everything that we've been identifying with. So you're not even seeing that person for who they truly are. You're literally just seeing your wounds getting reflected back to you. So until you go back home as awareness and remember who you are, your perception is always going to be muddied or filtered in some sort of way, and you won't be able to see them until you're out of your mind and into the present moment for who they truly are. You won't be able to see the true love that is within them that's looking back at you, because you don't even see it within yourself. You have to be it to see it, pretty much. And you are already it. You're not trying to be someone who's chosen or loved, etc. You are those things, and that's what you are waking up to, is source or awareness or God, whatever label you want to give it. That's where you're getting to when the presence is the doorway into that home that is already resting within you. You just were asleep. You didn't know.
Yeah. And narrator said, so what should we do to manifest SP? You should stop torturing yourself with thought. And I'm really not kidding. Like until then, you won't have it's not even possible to believe that it'll happen. Like at that point, like when you are so stuck in the little me, oh my God, what's gonna happen? And we're watching a bunch of content, needing reassurance, all this. Like if content or anything I say could have convinced you, or someone else could have said could have convinced you, by now it would have already happened. Like this is like, you got to stop with the momentum of the believing a bunch of nonsense about yourself and the world. You start there, you will naturally get different perspectives. You're gonna feel a lot lighter, and the SP's gonna be calling like, "Hey, I just been thinking about you." All from just not entertaining all from stop hitting your fingers with the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
If I hit myself with a finger, or if I hit myself in the fingers with a hammer, and at the same time told you guys that I cared about myself and I love myself and I was a priority and I was worthy, you would be like, "That's bullshit." Like, so if you are telling yourself, I'm priority, I'm loved, I'm this, I'm that, like, and you're torturing yourself with thought, and you're putting yourself second by making this manifestation, this person, the main enchilada about your life, and you're saying, I can't wait to live my life until this person loves me, like, then these affirmations are null and void now, because like that's not how that works. So this is more about being than it is affirming. Now, if you are being these things, by all means, go ahead and affirm. But like, you'll notice too that the more that you're being kind of just like chill and stable, you're not gonna you feel that you don't really feel the need to affirm as much, I guess, anyway, in the beginning. So yeah, just look at what you're being. Like, really take an honest look at that. Like, yo, how often in my day am I desperate? Am I clinging to something to reassure me? How often in my day am I like, damn, like everything's missing, I suck, or like how often in my day am I like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna focus on my state of being, and I'm gonna pick me for a little while, get myself together. Doing that, just that little act alone, changes the whole thing.
It really does too. And your mind gets so quiet afterwards. Like once you're really practicing this, like it's so peaceful internally. The mental chatter kind of quiets down, or you're just observing it. It's not pulling your attention anymore. The emotions calm down. You're not spiraling. You're not getting triggered. Just everything is a lot more peaceful. So you're in a state of just harmony at this point, compared to the chaos, especially when you first learn about manifestation, it becomes chaotic. I remember thinking, I wish I'd never learned about this because I was just so exhausted. I couldn't handle it anymore. I was constantly spiraling. And, until I reached the point of really understanding states of being and actually being that new person and letting go of thought and just being present, that's when everything really, really changed. And I feel more whole than ever before because I am, I know who I am. So that comes along with presence, which makes your life a whole lot better anyways.
Thanks. That's true. Well, hey, Lane, I'm gonna hop off. I gotta be up a little early.
Yeah.
Listen, let's do it again now.
Bradley, go follow that man. The Internal Game on YouTube and or on TikTok. He's really good. He's very similar to my teachings. But yeah, guys, so I will see you later. And remember, as awareness, you got this.